Hey everybody, it's Jose Laya. We hope you're doing well. The first quarter of 2025 for the real estate market is in the books. And today we're going to look at single family homes in Pinecrest, which is one of the most sought after and exclusive neighborhoods in all of Miami. Since the beginning of this year, we've started to do our market updates focusing on each neighborhood as a single video to allow you to really hone in on the neighborhood of your choice. Whether you currently live there and want to see how the market is doing or are considering buying there, we want to be able to put the information in your hands in a quick and easy way. We are also taking a look at a lot more data to be able to give you more details and information as to how the market is doing. We're also going to give you a breakdown of all the sales data, including active listings for sale, closed sales. We're also going to dive a bit deeper to see what price range most of this activity is taking place in. And then we'll wrap things up with our market summary. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. Okay, so here's our first graph for single family homes in Pinecrest for the first quarter, and we're breaking it down month by month, January, February, and March. We're including active listings for sale, closed sales, months of supply, days on market, median price per square foot, and median price sold. And towards the end of the quarter, the numbers are giving us some mixed signals here. Look at January and February, the number of actives stayed pretty much the same. And then in March, they shot up over 30% from 109 to 140 listings. That's a big jump. Closed sales stayed about the same. Months of supply, again, stayed about the same. But look at days on market. Days on market decreased dramatically to 50 from 76. Price per square foot increased as well to $815. That was a big jump. And median price sold decreased to $2,290,000. So mixed signals here. Something's good, something's not good. Let's jump into our next graph where we have the price ranges of all actives and closed sales to see if we can spot any trends. Let's look at that now. Here we go. So again, here we have the full numbers for the first quarter of 2025. All active listings for sale, closed sales, and then months of supply. Now we will note that Pinecrest is a landlocked neighborhood, so you won't see obviously any homes for sale or closed that are waterfront, because when we have other graphs here in other neighborhoods, we use a light blue color to display that they are waterfront homes. But Pinecrest, it's a landlocked neighborhood, so that's why you only see one set of numbers. Getting that out of the way, let's look at the numbers for the first quarter. Active listings ended at 140, but it was an increase from the previous 2 months. The total closed sales for the quarter, 35. That gives us about 11 months of supply. Now, to give that some context, anywhere from 6 to 9 months is considered a balanced or normal market. We see 11 months, yes, it is a little bit higher, but considering that Pinecrest has a very high median price sold, 11 months is actually pretty good. Let's look down to see what price range most of the activity is taking place in. And right away, look at the first graph or the first box from 0 to $1 million. There's no active listings and no closed sales. That means you can't buy a property for under $1 million in Pinecrest, a single family house at least. So if you look at the price ranges, the active listings are pretty spread evenly between 1 million all the way up to 10 million, as we said, 43, 36, and 43. However, we definitely see much more closed sales in the $1 to $3 million price range and strong sales in the $3 to $5 million. That makes 29 out of the 35 closed sales are under $5 million for the quarter. Even though Pinecrest is an exclusive area known for larger lots and larger homes, we really don't see many closed sales above the $10 million mark and none above $20 million. So those 18 active listings at 10 million plus with only 2 closed sales, that's something we're going to keep our eye on, as there's just not enough sales activity given those active listings. For buyers looking for homes in Pinecrest, obviously there's nothing under $1 million. Inventory has increased slightly. However, please note that as we showed you, the days on market was 50, especially when you're looking at $5 million and under. That means that the market moves pretty fast here. 50 days is less than 2 months. And that's pretty amazing considering that the median price sold is above $2 million. If you're a seller in this market, you do have the advantage that activity is steady, especially below $5 million for this neighborhood. However, we will note that there's a lot of new inventory for sale that has come online this month. So make sure to really do your homework to price your home correctly so that it can sell fast. In markets like this, we always like to suggest that you price your home at the market or even just a bit below to be able to attract the most attention as fast as possible, as soon as coming on the market. Especially with all the economic headwinds in the world right now, the last thing you want to do as a seller is not price your home correctly and have it sit on the market. So now let's jump into our summary. So in summary, we can clearly see that the market for single-family homes in Pinecrest is doing well. And activity is very steady, especially under $5 million. There's strong activity. One area of concern that we do have to highlight is that we did see a large increase in the number of active listings from February to March. We just have to see how the market takes that, especially considering that right now we're dealing with a very volatile stock market, unstable interest rates, all due to the trade wars regarding tariffs, which we feel will definitely negatively impact our numbers for the month of April, as well as the second quarter, and maybe even this entire year. It's something we're going to have to keep a very close eye on, as these are all very serious economic headwinds for the real estate market in general. Well, that's our first quarter market update for 2025 for single family homes in Pinecrest. I am Jose Laya. I was born and raised right here in Miami. And as I start my 19th year in the real estate market, I can proudly say that our goal in making these videos is to provide you with value and help as many people as we can by sharing real market data to give you a better insight into the local market. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.